It was, I had just been hearing these stories. On photo shoots, there's a lot of time spent waiting for hair and makeup on a celebrity, and you just are literally just hanging out. And people, inevitably, you'd hear a story here and there, and it was actually the first story in the book, the Judy Garland story. You can all turn to page 1. That really clinched it for me, where I thought, this has got to be a book. So yeah, when I started to think of how I wanted the finished product to be, I just thought I really wanted something that could sit on somebody's coffee table and their mom could come over and pick it up and just not drop it in disgust or something, that it be lighthearted and funny and sort of grab you through the humor and the heart of it. So when I sent letters out to people, I was very specific about the kind of stories that I wanted, and I even sent them a couple of examples of stories that I had already collected.
We were kind of, we had some reservations. We loved the book, but Robert's also a filmmaker, a documentary filmmaker, and so we were sort of, we were sort of anxious about it, but it was really through collaborating with Sheila and John and HBO, and in terms of sort of figuring a way, and also talking to Robert and getting his blessings, because, and feeling like we were all on board, but figuring out a way to sort of approach it that connected with our own personal interpretation of When I Knew. And we were sort of pushed. I mean, normally we wouldn't put ourselves in a film. That was really, that was Sheila. Like, trying to humiliate us, I think.
Often when we make films, the people don't want to be in the film. When we made Inside Deep Throat, we sent out thousands of requests for interviews, and everyone was like, no, no, no. Even the people who supported the film when it came out. But this is something that was surprising. We filmed in 5 cities, and we filmed 150 people. Like, everybody just wants to be in it, and that's kind of a miracle and such a nice experience. But normally you're trying to convince someone, saying, no, be in the film, it'll be really good. And in this case, just this wave of people wanting to tell us the story, because I guess every single When I Knew story is like a snowflake. There's no one story that is identical to someone else's. They're all completely different and unique.
But people were really, it was weird. It was like people were weirdly emotional about it. And I think it's because most gays and lesbians are sort of preoccupied with the notion of coming out. I mean, that's our big moment, is when we come out. When I Knew, just the idea of when I knew, it really is a different moment that I think a lot of us don't really spend that much time thinking about. And then when you really start thinking about it, the reality is most people have more than one When I Knew moment. They have the sex moment, they have the, but when you start thinking about it, there's that thing of, the When I Knew moment, and then the coming out moment. And I don't think every gay and lesbian experience pain all in between, but we all experience a little bit of it. And so I think for most people who participated in this film, it was, we just took out ads in newspapers, so they came with very little information about it. I think it was very cathartic for most of them. That was a long-winded answer, but. The pygmy story is a good one.
The pygmy story.
Which is actually in the film. We probably should have included that in this one, but the guy who got an erection watching a PBS documentary about pygmies because he saw full frontal nudity for the first time. That was sweet.